Hey guys! In today's video, I'm going to be doing a NailzByDev unboxing as well as some character nail art. So let's get right into the video. I do want to quickly show you guys my nails. Look how cute these are. I do already have the tutorial for the Winnie the Pooh set up on my YouTube channel, so if you guys want to watch that, I will link it down below. I did purchase some products from NailzByDev. You guys have seen me use her products before. I absolutely love every single thing that I've tried. All of her products are really good, high quality. I definitely recommend you guys try her out, especially if you are into nail art. So the first thing I'm showing you guys from the box is the Sweet Pastel liner gel insert card. This just lists out all of the colors and the names. Underneath that, we do have the actual gel liner collection. I did purchase this the day that she released it, and I did end up getting my purchase about 3 days later. She has some of the fastest shipping I've ever experienced with a nail brand. So here are the 6 gel liner colors. I will be showing you guys the colors in a few minutes. I also picked up a few other items from her as I am trying to grow my collection of NailzByDev's products. So here we have the color Lights Out, which is a very pigmented black gel polish. I also picked up the color Sweater Weather. This is kind of like a grayish blue type of color, really pretty. I also picked up some more gels. So we have the color White Out, which is a white pigment gel polish. I did also get the highlight gel, which is used to add highlights to character nail designs, and also the non-wipe gel top coat. I have been wanting to try her nail tips as well, so I did pick up the full cover medium square nail tips. These are definitely not your average medium length nail tips. I personally would classify these as like extra long, but I know everyone kind of has a different opinion on the length. This is a pretty flat nail tip as well. It doesn't have a big C curve, which is something I have preferred more recently. I do want to also say that these nail tips are not the thickest nail tips that I've used. They do bend and they do leave a little white line in the center. Of course, the free edge is a lot thicker than the cuticle area. And the last thing that I got is one of her new release t-shirts. This is a black t-shirt with her logo in the center. I did end up getting a small based on the measurements, and I do have to say I feel like these run a little bit big compared to typical clothing sizes. But honestly, it doesn't bother me at all because I really like the size of this shirt. Just keep in mind of the size chart that she has on the website. Really good quality t-shirt as well. It's not thin, it's a really thick, soft material. The logo is also really smooth on the shirt. It's not like a logo that's going to like wrinkle off after like 3 washes. So that is everything that I purchased from NailzByDev. I will try to link all of these products down below. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at the gel liners. So here is the Sweet Pastels gel liner collection. These are 6 extremely pigmented gel liner colors. These are perfect for character nail art and more detailed nail designs. The consistency is really thick, so it's not going to be running on the nail like a gel polish would. These colors are absolutely beautiful. I love all of these. I cannot pick a favorite. These are also cruelty free. So let's go ahead and start the manicure. I will be doing this nail design on press-ons, so I do already have my press-on stand ready. I'm just going to go ahead and size out my nail tips. So I'm taking NailzByDev's full cover nail tips and I'm going ahead and sizing them out. I do want these press-ons to fit myself, but I don't want to have to take off my nails to size them out. So what I'm actually doing is comparing the size to another brand of full cover nail tips that do fit me. I have my sizes memorized, so I'm just comparing them to that. And actually, these ended up fitting me very well, so that does work if you don't want to take off your nails to size on some press-ons. So here are the nail tips all ready for the nail design. I really love the shape and the length of these, but I have to say I really do not like how the pinky nail is so much shorter than the thumbnail. Look at the length difference. I just personally don't like when nail tips have such a difference in the length. I do understand that not everybody likes their nails to be all the exact same length, but I do. So I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess of the tips to try to make them all about the same length. So now that we have that done, I'm going to go ahead and take the color Sweater Weather and paint all of the nails. Ideally, if you are making press-ons, I would recommend to buff the surface of the nail tip just to ensure that the gel polish adheres properly. I am just skipping that because I don't actually plan to wear these. I just want to put them on for a few pictures. As you guys can see, this gel polish is so pigmented and creamy. I love the consistency and the pigment is absolutely perfect. You basically only need like one coat of this. I would personally recommend that you guys still do 2 layers just to make sure it's extremely pigmented, but I only did 1 layer for these press-ons. Once I've applied the gel polish to all of the press-ons, I did go ahead and cure under my Kiara Sky LED nail lamp for a full minute. And here are what they're looking like. As you can see, the pigment of that gel polish is so good. So I did go ahead and quickly sketch out the characters that we're doing today. I am going to be doing a Tangled Rapunzel themed character nail design today. Please disregard the thumb. I did not end up doing Maximus. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with Pascal. Pascal is Rapunzel's pet chameleon. I'm going to go ahead and start by coloring in the base of the character. For this, I am using the color Lucky Charm from the new liner collection. I'm also going to be using the color Limewire, which is a darker green shade from her primary collection. I will be using a variety of products from NailzByDev in today's video, but I do want to primarily stick with the new pastel liners. So like I said, I am just taking the color Lucky Charm and I'm going to be using this to fill in the entire character. This is kind of like a base layer. I am not going to leave him a solid green color because I do want to add shading and stuff, but this is just a good base for the character. I did go ahead and cure the base layer and now I'm taking the color Banana Smoothie and I'm going to be adding a line of this for his mouth. This is basically like his lip. It is kind of yellow, so that is why I'm using this color. I went ahead and took the little baby blender to blend out that gel polish color. Mixing both of those green gel liner colors together, I got a medium green color. So taking this, I'm going to be adding some shading to the character. I did apply some to the left side of the top of his head and also around his eyes and under his mouth. Then going back with the baby blender, I'm going to go ahead and blend out that shading. By the way, the liner brush I'm using is the 9mm from NailzByDev as well. Taking a dotting tool and the color Lucky Charm, I'm just adding some dots around his eyes and down the center of his head. This is adding the skin texture of the chameleon. Also taking that color, I'm going to go ahead and fill in the rest of his body. I probably should have just applied that color to the body to start with, but I didn't really plan that out. After that is cured, I'm taking the color Limewire by itself and I'm going ahead and adding some more shading to the body. Now taking the white gel liner, I'm going to go ahead and use this color for the base of his eyes. This was definitely the most satisfying part of drawing this character. I loved doing the eyes on him. It was so fun. Next, I am taking the gel polish color Mocha Magic and a dotting tool to color in his irises. I'm also taking the color Baddest Black for the pupils. I also added an extremely tiny dot of the white for the highlights. Taking the color Bare It All, I'm going to go ahead and paint this underneath the character. In the reference photo, Pascal is sitting on top of Rapunzel's hair, so this is the base color for her hair. Then going back with the color Banana Smoothie, I'm going to go ahead and start drawing the hairlines. Going back with Mocha Magic, I'm going to add some shading to her roots as well as directly under the character. Now I'm using the highlight gel to add a little bit of highlight to the hair. This didn't quite work as well as I planned. I also added a little bit of highlight to Pascal as well. As a last minute decision, I did take this glow-in-the-dark yellow gel liner color and I applied this over the entire hair. After applying the yellow color, I did try to wipe off a good amount so the hair doesn't look yellow. Moving on to the pinky, which is the flower, I am taking the color Limewire again for the stem as well as all of the leaves. This was actually the most difficult part of the nail design for me, was trying to draw the stem and the leaves and the grass and make it look good. I do have to say I'm not the biggest fan of how this nail turned out, but I did want to leave this nail in because I feel like it's a really important part of this nail set. Taking the color Creamsicle, I'm going to be using this as the base color for the flower petals. I do apologize because a few clips of my footage is a tiny bit out of focus, but I tried my best to make sure that you guys can clearly see what I'm doing at all times. So if it is a little bit blurry at some points, I do apologize. I didn't show the curing process, and I also am not telling you guys every time I cure. It's basically in between each of the colors. Now I'm taking the color Banana Smoothie again, and I'm going to add the highlight in the center of the flower petals. I did end up cutting out a lot of footage, so this video is not too long, but this nail set ended up taking me about 12 or 13 hours to paint. Next, I did take the baby blender to blend out the yellow color into the orange, just to make sure that these lines are not too harsh. Taking Oops, I Did It Again, I'm going to mix this with a little bit of the black liner to create a dark red color, and I'm going to be drawing the center of the flower. So if you guys haven't watched the movie Tangled, apparently this flower is magic and it does also glow whenever you sing to it. So of course I did have to go in and add the glow-in-the-dark yellow gel liner color. I didn't like having to cover up these beautiful orange and yellow gel liner colors, but I did really want this nail set to be able to glow. So again, after applying the yellow glow-in-the-dark polish, I did go ahead and wipe off most of it. Going in with Banana Smoothie again, I'm just going to draw those little things coming from the center of the flower. Then taking a dotting tool and the white polish, I'm going to add some little dots. I did decide to take the color LimeWire and mix it with a little bit of the black shading gel to create a darker green color for the grass. I did not put much detail in this area of the nail art and it clearly shows, but I didn't want to spend forever drawing grass. So I did take the highlight gel to try to add some highlights to the leaves. So this is just how it ended up turning out, and now we are moving on to Flynn Rider. For the skin color of Flynn, I did end up using the same color that I used for Rapunzel later on, and that is the color Baby Doll. This is the lightest shade of the complexion collection from NailzByDev, which I do have. I really love this collection. It's a lot of different gel polish colors that are great to use for skin colors. So I just painted all of his face and neck, excluding his eyes. I am now going back with Mocha Magic for the base color of his hair. I have to go ahead and tell you guys now that I am not the best at drawing male characters, so I feel like Rapunzel did turn out a little bit better than Flynn did. I did end up making his face a little bit too thin, but I feel like you can still tell who it is, especially when you pair it with the other nails. I'm also adding in his goatee with the same color. I guess it's a goatee because it's only like on his chin. If I'm wrong, please correct me down below. I'm also using the same color for his eyebrows as well. Taking the color Baradol, I'm going to go ahead and add some shading to his skin. I am really bad at adding shading to characters, so that is something I am currently trying to work on. But I do want to add shading to give it a little bit more depth. Of course, after adding the shading, I am going in with the baby blender to blend out the shading just a little bit. Going in with the white gel liner, I'm going to go ahead and color in his eyes. Drawing eyes has always been my favorite thing about drawing people, but for doing eyes in nail art, it's kind of the scariest part for me because if you don't draw the eyes right, it doesn't end up looking right. Going back with Mocha Magic, I'm going to be doing his irises, and of course with the black liner, we're going to be doing the pupils. Taking the color Black Cherry, which is the darkest of the complexion collection, I'm just going to be adding some shading underneath these strands around his face and also on the top and bottom portion of his hair. This is a little bit hard to see on camera, but in person you can see it a lot better. Now I'm taking the black shading gel to outline around his eyes and also add in his mouth. Taking the white gel polish, I'm going to go ahead and draw on his undershirt. This one is a little bit hard to see for the position that he's in, but I'm just drawing the edges. I'm also going to go ahead and draw in his arm. Taking the gel liner color Genie in a Bottle, this is a primary blue color. I'm going to mix this in with a gray that I already have mixed up for the previous nail art. This is creating a grayish blue color that is not the same shade as the color Sweater Weather. And I'm just going to go ahead and fill in his vest. I actually really love how this color turned out. I feel like it matched the reference photo pretty well. For the other half of the vest, I ended up mixing in a little bit more of the black color for a deeper blue shade. This does kind of give the appearance that he's turned away from the light source, and I feel like this just made it look so much better. I'm now just taking this bronzy colored liner polish and I'm going to go ahead and add some detail on his vest. This includes the hooks down the center as well as the lines around his shoulders. And that is basically Flynn Rider. Now we are moving on to Rapunzel. For Rapunzel, it is pretty much the same steps that I did for Flynn. We are starting with the base of the skin color, which again, I am using the same one, Baby Doll. I honestly really struggled with Rapunzel. It was the most difficult thing for this nail design. I actually attempted Rapunzel twice. This is my second attempt at drawing her out. I will include a little clip of the first attempt versus this one at the end of drawing her. I just really struggled with Rapunzel for some reason. I kind of think it's the proportions, like I can't really draw Disney characters that well apparently, so I did struggle a lot, but I tried my best and I feel like you can figure out who it is at least. I also kind of struggle with doing blonde hair. I know that in reality it's more like very pastel yellow colors and a little bit of like light brown. But in my head it's also yellow, so I don't know, it's just a little bit confusing. I feel like this turned out decently, but not exactly what I was wanting. Again, for her hair, I did also use the yellow gel liner, which glows in the dark, so that made it a lot more yellow than I really like it to be. But I really wanted the hair to glow along with the flower like it does in the movie. I didn't actually have any glowing pigment or gel that glows yellow except for this one, which is why I did end up using it. I tried mixing a few other glow gels that I have that are different colors, but just the glow didn't look right and the color didn't look right as well. So this is just what I ended up using. I'm not exactly explaining everything that I'm doing for the Rapunzel character, but I feel like it's really easy to just watch what I'm doing and understand what steps you need to take. Also, I kind of forgot some of the colors that I used for her because I didn't exactly show it in the footage, and it's been like a few days since I painted these and I kind of forgot. But it's basically all the same products that I used for the other characters. I just had a bunch of NailzByDev products out and I just picked whatever I needed for the set. I did also end up mixing together a lot of the colors that I used from NailzByDev's products. So I can't exactly be like, oh, this color is this one. I mean, I did use straight color sometimes, but I did also mix a lot of colors together. Also, let me know down below what you guys think of the shading in these characters. I feel like I'm kind of starting to get the hang of blending out gel polishes. It's not exactly where I want to be yet, and the colors might be a little bit off, but I'm still working on that. Just let me know what you guys think of the shading. Honestly, I kind of need to set myself back a little bit and do more simple characters and gradually go into like shading and more 3D characters, but that's kind of not how I'm doing it. So I know I pretty much didn't talk about any steps I did for Rapunzel, but here she is. I feel like it turned out pretty good. The mouth is a little bit wonky, but that's the best I could do. So here is my first attempt versus my second attempt. As you can see, it's a really big difference. I definitely like the one on the right a lot better. Still not perfect, but we're getting somewhere at least. Moving on to the thumbnail, I do have this really big box of 3D flowers. These are the really popular ones that everyone uses around springtime. I love this box because it has the big ones and the small ones separated. It also has a lot of colors, and also the caviar beads and pearls are separate as well. I did get this from Shein, so I will have that linked down below. Definitely recommend this box. It's a lot bigger than those little 6th grade containers. Taking the color Sweet Lilac, I'm just going to be doing an S-curved line going down the entire nail. This ended up being a lot more simple than I originally planned. After I cured the abstract line, I did take Dev's top coat gel and I applied this to the entire nail. Into the uncured top coat, I'm just going to be placing the flowers along with some caviar beads. As you guys might have seen, I did plan to do Maximus, but the colors of white were just really throwing me off and it wasn't looking good, so I did switch over to something more simple. After curing the thumb, I am going back with the top coat gel to top coat the rest of the nails. You can definitely use a matte gel top coat. I really like Dev's matte top coat, but I did want the set to be shiny. Also, a little heads up, her matte gel top coat does cure with a tacky layer, which is shiny. All you have to do is just wipe away the tacky layer and it does become fully matte. After applying the gel top coat, I did go ahead and cure for a full minute, and here are the press-ons. I really like these. I feel like the detail I put into this is a lot better than anything I have done before. I am still working on my 3D character art, so please don't judge me. Leave any tips that you might have down below in the comments. Let me know what you think of this character set down below, as well as any recommendations for future character nail art. Here's the clip of the nails glowing in the dark. I really like how I added the touch of her hair and the flower glowing. Do make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!